Today I'm painting a head study using gouache paints. It's relatively small, 7 inches by 10 inches on hot press watercolor paper. Head studies and figure drawings are pretty regular parts of my studio practice. I find that they keep me sharp in my accuracy in drawing, in my color mixing, in my understanding of value relationships, all the stuff that comes into play again and again when you're painting. This time I had a bit of a special objective too. I wanted to try a new color palette that included alizarin crimson and viridian green. I usually avoid green in my flesh mixtures because they can give it a bit of a sickly cast. But I read that John Singer Sargent often used it to give depth to some of his reds, and so I thought I'd give it a try. I actually quite like it. It's definitely something I'm going to add to my tool belt. One of the tricky parts of gouache is that the colors often dry different than they appear when they're wet. It depends on the pigment, but they tend to dry towards a bit of a middle value. So light colors will dry dark, dark colors will dry light. You can see the difference here. It's subtle, but still noticeable and can be significant when you're trying to pursue subtle effects. One of the strategies I used here is to slowly add layers of dark values step by step, kind of deepening the exposure as I go. That's a frequent process I use for watercolor painting, going light to dark. Gouache is a little different, it's opaque, so it doesn't necessarily need that, but it's still helpful, a way to build up the relationships, and it seemed to work out fine here. This ended up being a bit of a nice practice painting, a little head study. The colors are neutral, but not without some subtle, cool, warm shifts. There's definitely not a sickly green cast. It's pretty surprising that some of these colors came from actually very vibrant reds and greens, but I got very neutral browns with attentive mixing. It's all great practice, and that's good enough for now. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for spending some time with me. Catch you next time.